So welcome everyone. This is our kickoff for our June schedule of our Confident Lady Boss series. Tonight we are going to discuss Be the Boss of Your Prosperity. And we have a great guest speaker, Susan Glusica. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yep.
And she's going to talk tonight about the 7 money realities. So Susan, Madeline, do you want to go and share a little bit quickly where you're from, what do you do, and then we'll go on and have Susan.
Quickly, so my name is Madeline Fiella. I live in Hollywood, Florida. My main mission is to help especially women to understand that they have a lot of power, and I help them tap into their courage, and that applies to everything, personal life and business life. I'm a civility advocate. I am a speaker, a coach, and a very soon-to-be author.
Yes, awesome, awesome. And I see we have Kenya all the way from Alabama and Marianne. Hi, Marianne, how are you?
Hi, good.
Hi, Kenya, I love it.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my camera to come on. Hi, everyone.
All right, good. We were just doing introductions.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. So, Marianne, do you want to go and share where you're from, what you do?
Yeah, I'm local. I'm here in Connecticut, and I've known Tina for a while. Love what she's doing.
Thank you.
And I coach. I help small business owners, people that are in automotive, construction, all that. I help them really kind of get out of their own way and, stop doing it all. So yeah, I'm happy to learn and share here tonight. Looking forward.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. Susan is going to be on in a few. So she's our speaker for tonight. She's going to share the 7 money realities. She's going to hear more about what she does. There she is. Kenya, would you like to share where you're from and what you do?
I will attempt to. It's been a long day.
I know.
So I'm Kenya Halliburton. I reside in Huntsville, Alabama. I am a signature online course creation expert and what I call an online. My brain is. Please forgive me. The online business choreographer for women with big ambitions and complicated lives. As you can see, I am my own client.
Yes, you are. Awesome. Awesome. And Kenya did my website. Kenya's been my coach and has worked a lot with my business. And she wakes up at 3 o'clock every morning, has 3 boys, and she homeschools one of them as well. And she's on this webinar. So
yay, I finally made it.
You made it. You made it. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And so, Susan, do you want to go?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Susan Glusica. I am the unrivaled realizer. I am known for humanizing the fastest path to inviting in and receiving more money, because I am a stand for more prosperity is a choice that requires no apologies. So I humanize finances for enterprising business leaders and professionals who want to release themselves from fear, doubt, or worry for their financial future. I could go on, but I will keep it short. So thank you so much, Tina, for this opportunity to participate in the Confident Lady Boss series.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. Do you want me to share the screen?
No, just ask the questions, and on the third question we can share.
Okay, awesome. All right. So, Susan, so what do you notice about women when it comes to money?
So here's what I notice, actually, is that, they're not engaging in enough pleasure in their life, right? Like they're not taking the vacations that they want. They're not going out to dinner when and where they want, or any time that they want, right? Or they're drowning in debt. That's very common.
Oh, yes.
Or in other ways, there's simply not enough money. Like there's too much month, not enough money, right? That's what I see is happening. And like we really start to convince ourselves that as long as we're with friends and family, you know, we don't need like to go out to the fancy restaurant. You know, we tell ourselves things that make us feel better about our money situation, right? We drive versus fly, or we take the bus versus car service, right? Or the taxi versus car service. Or we have a staycation instead of the European vacation, right? That's what I find with women and money in general.
Okay. Okay. And why do you think that is, though? Because why, besides, okay, I'm sure people are going to say, well, I don't have the money to go on a European vacation, so that's why I'm going to do a staycation. It's better to do something than nothing, which is what I've said myself. Those are my own words. And you feel better because you're saying, well, at least I'm doing something.
Right. And to your point, we always chase progress over perfection. Absolutely. Right. And we recognize that, well, kind of, you know, it's all relative, right? So let's talk about the debt load for 1 second, right? So it's really not the size of the debt load, right? It's the weight of the debt load, right? So how heavy is it? Muscle weighs more than fat, right? So money weighs more than debt, right? So what's your mountain? What's your, you know, what's the relative weight of that debt? If you could fly anywhere and go to that European vacation, where would you go? And why haven't you gone already? There's something in the way, right? So
good point.
Usually when we feel like there's not enough money, there's a sense of worry or lack around our money situation. And I say I'm a stand for more prosperity as a choice that requires no apologies, because women typically will resist the word money, which is why I called today, be the boss of your prosperity, right? We can imagine and visualize what prosperity is. When someone says, how much money do you want? We're not kind of trained that way, right?
Right.
So I help make money accessible if you're resisting the money.
Okay. Okay, good. Any comments, anyone?
Definitely believe in our money stories. And if you have a money story that comes from lack, you are barriers up until you learn how to put it down. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so absolutely, Madeline, if we believe that, you know, belief shapes reality and we don't like our money reality, we must go back to our beliefs around money, our money story, to your point, and shift that first. Absolutely. 100%.
Right, right. Mary Ann, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think when we talk about our beliefs or how we grew up, I think, you know, everyone has to some degree a limiting belief. But I think what we actually do sometimes is we turn them into limiting identities.
I like
you know,
that.
I didn't come from money, so I'm never going to have any money. And then we operate that way.
Yep.
If that makes sense to everyone. But I think that's kind of where you're going with this. But yeah, that's what sticks out to me is that, you know, there's always something there that maybe can hold us back in a lot of different ways.
Right, right. Now, Kenya's not on video, but she's on the phone. Kenya, do you want to share? I don't know if she can, if she's on mute. Kenya, are you still there? Okay, maybe she's not. Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Issues.
Okay, no problem. So just wondered if you had any thoughts on what Susan was just sharing. We're just talking about beliefs and
I missed the good stuff. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. Okay. One
Don't
of
worry, there's more good stuff coming.
there's more stuff coming. No, don't worry about
I
it.
can be there for it.
Don't worry
I
about
can't
it.
believe Tanya's awake because she gets up so early.
I know. It amazes me.
Just
It
woke up
amazes
from
me.
a nap, so that's why I'm a little groggy.
God. Okay. You know, Susan, one thing that you mentioned about our money story, like my money story, all my life being brought up with lack of, just never enough. There was never enough. We were always worried about money. And the oldest of three girls, my father was the breadwinner. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. And I just grew up always never enough, never enough. And that's how I carried my adulthood, my first marriage. And there was always a struggle with money. So until I started to shift my thoughts and really through, you know, self-discovery and working with mentors and really shifting, that I started to not worry that it's going to come, having the faith, believing in it. And I'm not worried. I know that money is coming. It hasn't left the planet. There's plenty of us around for us. But if we allow the worry and the doubt and the lack of, because we get so scared when it's like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this bill this month?
Right. So remember, we have three brains, and the critter brain is insidious and will demand that we pay attention to our current circumstances at all times because it's serving a preservation or survivor role for us physically. And it knows that anything in our past was survivable. So all of that is okay, whether or not that was positive, negative, you know, or otherwise, right? So, and we must appreciate that role and recognize there are two other brains that have a say. And the one that is actually our more higher self is the new or neocortex brain that is demanding that we strive to serve our higher purpose. We all have something unique to offer the world that no other human can do in exactly the way that we do it. And that right there is the key to the kingdom.
Very true. Very true. So Susan, how big is this problem with women? You know, what would you say is the percentage?
Well, it's actually, it's an epidemic. I see this all the time, that women particularly, right? Like, put it this way. I've never had someone say, I hate the fact that I have, enough to go on this, vacation of my dreams, or I have enough to pay off my debt, and be free of that monkey on my back for once and for all.
Right.
Or, I can't stand having more money than I need, right? Like, the solution is always more money. But yes, it is endemic. And here's, I think the one key for women is to recognize that in every moment, we have the power of conscious choice. Society, gender specifics, political, whatever, right? Familial, right? Generational pressure aside, we must remain conscious that in every moment we have choice. So I can choose to have more than enough money. In fact, when I choose that, I'm honoring the fact that it is our natural state to be in abundance.
Exactly.
Where I live, it's spring. I look outside. I've got a plethora of greenery and leaves and plants and flowers and grass and so forth. There is plentiful air for everybody to breathe, plentiful water for everybody to drink, plentiful beauty, right outside our windows, depending, of course, where you live. Even in cities, that can be had. So it is our natural state. It's actually programmed in our DNA to want more.
Exactly. Awesome. So I see. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Fine. I was fumbling, but I'm here.
Yay!
So Susan, we have Deborah Smith. We used to work together. She's from New York, and she is in insurance sales. So Deborah, you probably got in the middle of our discussion. and more is coming. So stay tuned, Deborah.
Okay.
Okay, but thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Great, great. Okay, Susan. So sorry.
That's okay, right? So welcome, Deborah. So
Hello.
hi, we were talking about the challenges that we face in terms of, you know, whether it's that we don't have enough money, or we're drowning in debt, or we're not able to do the things that we want, such as take a vacation or eat where we, you know, in the restaurant where we want, when we want, right? Those challenges. And what we do is we placate ourselves with, you know, oh, it's okay as long as I'm with family and friends. I don't need or want even that other stuff. And, right, that comes from a sense of worry, which comes from lack, right? So it becomes our goal to just want enough, right? Our need line, right?
Right.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. So the solution, of course, is more money.
More money.
More money. Who wants more money, right? We all do.
We all want more money, and Susan has a solution tonight that we're going to share in a few minutes on what is the solution.
Right. And how to be the boss of your prosperity, right? Because we're all about, this is Ladyboss series, right? Confident.
Yes.
Confident Ladyboss series.
Exactly.
So how do you be the confident lady boss of your prosperity? Well, you know you need this if you don't have enough pleasure and you need more money. You have too much debt. So the solution is to pay off the debt. You need more money, right? And if you're worried about having enough money, like let's say you don't even have debt and you get to vacation wherever, but you're still worried about having enough, because that happens as well. The solution is to have more than enough, right? We all know this. Here's the reality, that like we can fix it. We absolutely can fix it. There's a reason why you haven't been able to fix it on your own, right? We need to step back and understand, what is this all about? And this is what I teach in my program called Money, Realities, and Realizations. I am a stand for like math, right? Formula. So I don't do 3 + 3 = 6. I teach 3 × 3 = 9. Exponential growth, exponential prosperity. That's what I teach, right?
Okay.
And it's more than just a balance sheet, okay? There's a very, very specific process. It's the culmination of a decade of self-growth and awareness and learning, and I teach it to you in 90 days or less. No matter where your money reality is, and I'll explain those in a second with Tina's help.
Yeah,
I will get you to your next money reality in 90 days or less.
Okay.
So
Susan, I'll share the screen.
Yep.
Then. Okay, let me share.
Yep. Last year I discovered that there are 7 money realities. So there is a money energy correlation, okay? So we'll wait until the
slide. I have the slide.
That's okay.
Okay, there it is.
All right, awesome. So if you can see this, and I'll explain it, and you'll see it like behind me in various areas too. These are the 7 money realities. Okay. So there's a text if you want to go more in detail about the energy, like the map of consciousness or states of mind that David Hawkins put together. It's in Power versus Force. That's a seminal text on this. When I was reading it for the second time, I said, oh my goodness, this applies to money, and this is what came to me, okay? So the first level is what I call deficient absence. This is showing up as bankruptcy, repossessions, liens against your house, and so forth. I mean, this is a really deep hole, right? This is as low as it gets, pretty much, right? Barring homelessness. But this financially is like not where anybody wants to be. And yet, many of us have experienced it, right? The second level is what I call captive desire, right? We want a better future, but we can't really get there. So we're in full-on lack still, right? We want without being able to, or without feeling or believing like we can fulfill on our desires, right? And as I go up here, you'll notice that these first two levels are very low energy, right? When I explain them and describe them, that you can just sink down, right? And feel that lower energetic vibration. And we may know people who are here, who have been here. We may have been here ourselves. Again, there's no judgment, right? It just is what it is, right? Then level 3 is the pivotal point. This is where we start to get into, oh, there's hope, there's forgiveness, there's like the spark of the dream again happens in level 3, right? Because we realize that while we are 100% responsible for our results, we can absolutely forgive ourselves for what happened previously.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
I love that part. Forgive.
Yeah.
We can forgive ourselves, because how many of us have not been able to forgive things that we've done in the past?
100%, right?
Yeah.
So is this resonating with everybody here? You can relate to this? Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
So then we move into, and as you can see in the visual, right, there are colors coordinating to this. They are kind of chakra-like. And as we move up the chain, you'll notice that the rings get lighter and more expansive because the energy of money naturally is expansive and light. So that's the purpose, that's the thinking behind this image of, as you move up in the realms of, or levels of, the 7 money realities, you're actually getting higher energetic vibration, lighter and more expansive. And this is a direct correlation to your own, how, like the energy that you show up for your money. Okay? So if you want to shift your money, you must shift your energy. There's just no other way around it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Amen, sister. Right? Okay. So let's go into level 4, 5, and 6, right? Most of the people that I work with are in a 3 to 5 bandwidth, if you will, right?
Okay.
So harmonious acceptance. Now we have now we're starting to get like consistent abundance, right? We're in a really cool place, right? We're up the energetic vibration. We're accepting. There's no judgment, right? And we have gone through the other realms or levels of the energy where we don't, we've released our debt, if you will. We've forgiven ourselves our past mistakes. So now we're in harmony, starting to get the flow. We're in total acceptance. It's a good feeling, right? And then we go into level 5, which is loving your money. This is a really cool level because if you think of it, and I often tell people who are looking, they're in 4 and they're looking to get to their next level, well, write a love letter to money.
Oh, I love it.
Write a love letter to money, because if I'm money and you write a love letter to me, I'm going to want to come to you. I'm going to want to be part of your life, right? Like, think of it about it that way, energetically, because this is now the universe, right? Exchanging value with you. And if you are clear with your intention to love money and give it a loving and welcoming home and being a good steward of it, caring for it, wow, right? See how this is like a different orientation to your relationship with money?
Yes. I have to do that. Write a love letter to money.
There you go, woman.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, and love. So number 3, level 3 is that pivotal, like everything below level 3 is life-taking. Everything 3 and above is life-giving, and you're gonna see this in the levels, right? And I'm being very succinct here to try and give it to you within the time allotted and give you like a general idea of what I discovered. I do a much deeper dive in my program, right?
Of course.
So loving money, right? Then we're totally, it's not about, okay, so this may bring up for people, I just want to pause here and address this, right? Because what we resist persists. So if resistance is coming up because you think, oh, the root of all evil, right, is the love of money.
That was my belief.
That's not really what's at play here. What's at play here is being loving to having money in your life. It's not the soul excluding everything desire for money, right? It's in harmony.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But I stay in my lane and I'm fully focused on money. Okay. Good?
Yeah, good. It's not like you're hurting people, you're manipulating people, greed.
Right.
Like greed
Correct.
is, yeah, it's not greed.
Greed would be down in actually levels 1 and 2.
Yeah, greed.
Okay, which doesn't get you the money that you actually want.
Right. It could for a short term.
Right.
But then you know what happens.
Correct. Yep. So now we're in level 5, moving to 6, which is joyful completion. Wow. This is like you have abundance, consistent, regular abundance coming in. It is so you're filled with joy. You're living your higher purpose, right? I mean, you still have to kind of focus on money now and again, make sure things that you have in place are still creating that, you know, joyful abundance that you have going on. But this is a completely different world than, say, 1 or 2. You can get that feeling, right? Even as I'm speaking, my energy is on the rise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is, you're coming full circle. You've paid your dues. It's all coming in, right? It's a great place to be. Okay. And then, and I want to caveat that it is the minority that gets to the level 7 because this is peak money consciousness. And what do I mean by that? You don't even think of money. You don't have to think of money. Right. You purely focus on your higher purpose and the money just comes in, you know, practically taking care of itself, so to speak, right? I mean, it's off the charts what you're able to call in because you're purely focused on your value that you're giving out, right? And we all know that money is an effect. Right? And so what's the cause? The cause is service. Actually, the cause is sales, but you only get to the sales because you're serving others, right? You have to ask to serve others, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Agreed.
Any questions?
No, I just want to say, I love the way you've put it out here because I always tell my clients that once you reach joy, getting ready to explode. You know, it's like joy. If you're joyful in what you're doing, that enlightened top of mind is just around the corner. And I love how you've put it in colors.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I actually had an Akashic Records reading, and the person said, you have to add color. And immediately upon that coming out, I had this image came to my mind, and I actually I did it in watercolor like immediately.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. It was a total download.
Could you explain the captive desire again?
Sure. So captive desire like shows up. Okay, so you're not in bankruptcy, you're not having things reclaimed, but you're in this place where you feel like you want a better situation, but you can't figure out how to make that happen because you lack the faith in yourself to make it happen.
Bingo.
You lack the
Got
faith
you.
in
You
yourself.
lack the faith. You can't, you just don't have the faith
In yourself.
in yourself. Well, really what it is you've lost connection to the divine, because the divine is unlimited. Source is unlimited. So
Right.
it's actually this it's almost like this this place in between. So you're not in this dire place, but you're not in the place of actually having enough money.
Right.
You're
in
held captive.
between.
You
Yeah.
want more, but you're
You
held
want more, but
captive.
you can't. Exactly.
But
Yep.
you're held by your thoughts. This is the way I look at it. When I
Yep.
look at captive desire, because I've been there. I feel stuck. I'm captive to the money. I just know I want something more, but I just don't even know what to do next
Yep.
to get it. And you're right. Having no faith in yourself, having no faith that, for me, it was that there was even money to get.
Ah, right.
No, I'm definitely not a captive desire then. But courageous forgiveness, I may be around there. So explain that one to me.
Yeah. So great question. So, and 3 is a pivotal point. I want to stress that, right? So you are now in kind of like that starter abundance area, right? You can make things happen, but it's not consistent,
There
right?
you go. That's me.
That's
I
where you
wanted
are.
to find my place on here. That's me.
Yeah. Great. Absolutely. And anybody else need any clarification on any of the levels?
Well, I have a question, Susan.
Yes, Marianne.
So, do you notice in the different generations? I'm assuming you're primarily dealing with women. Is that correct? I don't.
That is correct. 90% of the, yes. 90%.
Okay, I didn't want to make that assumption, but since putting it in context for women, do you notice a difference in the generation, the generations? The only reason I'm asking is I came from corporate years ago when I was younger.
As did I.
So did
A
I.
lot of women, many women I notice their jobs were a second job, I want to say. Like they looked at their husband as the main person who was bringing in the money, and their job was kind of more of a supporting role. And then I saw a shift. So I was wondering, if you see that now with the younger generation.
So what I see with the younger generation actually, yes, is a shift out of being a support role and more into their own, purpose, right? We're no longer subservient, if you will, to another's viewpoint, will, what have you. So the younger, and there's a few reasons for that, one of which is that the younger generation do not want to repeat the errors of their parents' generation, right? So yes, definitely. And here's an interesting thing too, on the older generation, like women who have survived their spouses, I see the same effect, believe it or not. I see this, ooh, it's all out there for me now. Right? Like I've put in my time, I've been subservient, and now it's my time. So it's the women in the middle who struggle more with where they land in this in the 7 money realities and their higher purpose, answering that call of their higher purpose, because they're typically in the sandwich generation. They still have kids, whether they're in preteen, teen, or college. There's still some caretaking going on there, right? Some guidance. And they're caretaking for their older parents. So there, where's the space for their higher purpose in that? And that shows up in the money.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Marianne. Yes, Kenya.
So it's very interesting because all of this is kind of where I've been, kind of laying here for the last maybe few months, like since the beginning of the year. And so I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, places where I was versus where I am. And I wanted to know, like, is it possible to have scattered energy through this? Like, can you be like
Like you could go up and down, and yeah, absolutely, yes.
Because that's why I feel like I can see courageous
me too.
forgiveness, harmonious acceptance, and loving money. Like I feel like I'm.
Yep. That's very common, or even to have one foot in one level and another in either the lower or the higher one, right?
Okay.
That's very, very common. And here's what I would tell you is just that you didn't know any better. Nobody explained this to you. Nobody educated you on how money really works, what the money energy correlation is, how to really, truly, and once and for all permanently shift your money beliefs around money, because before we're the age 7, we have no filtering capacity, right? So anything we're told about, say, money, we merely accept, right? So that is predominantly the challenge that people face, and one that I address, one of the 4 things I address in week 1 of my program. We deal with that and get you out of that like this.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you can get into a level and stay there and work on getting to the next level without backsliding. That's really important, right? We don't want to go backwards.
Right.
People do, but it's only because they just didn't know how not to slide backwards, right? There's no judgment. It's just how it is, and it's just because of lack of knowledge. That's purely it.
Right. Good question, Kenya, because I was
really good.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That I could be, because I know I'm between 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, like at any given moment, right?
Yeah, but then I've been at 6.
Yeah.
As well. You know, so yeah. Okay, awesome. That's a great visual. Anybody else have any thoughts on these 7 money realities?
I just love it because I've been up and down this thing a number of times.
I know.
In my life, and I love it. And I think I'm trying to figure out where I am right now, and I think I'm right about at loving money.
Okay.
I'm right about at loving money. And the key, which I love that you said, is, you know, because I use like a comfort zone bridge, you know, you're allowed to stop, you're allowed to sit, can't go back, but you got to go forward. And loving money is right about where I am. I'm getting to that point again where, no, I shouldn't say again. I think that was always missing. I just always was there. I always figured I had it. In my later years, like when I was singing, then I always had it. And so now I'm rebuilding this cone. This is like the
Yeah.
And I really think for me, I'm at 5, loving money. And I love 3, courageous forgiveness. You know that resonates with me.
Well, yeah, because you're the badass courage lady.
That's right. That's the pivotal level.
Yes.
That's where it's all at, you know, coming out of 1 and 2 into the higher realms. Absolutely.
I just got goosebumps. I love it. I'm at loving money right now, girl.
Awesome.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But because it's interesting to me, how do we get to these levels? Like, if, you know, like getting from 1, I mean, some of us have not gone through bankruptcy, you know, and so they can't relate to it. But I know that captive desire, I've been there and then have just kind of moved up.
Well, think of captive desire too, like you're in school, right? I mean, it doesn't only have to be bankruptcy, right? And kind of backward sliding, like I had stuff and now I lost it, but like I don't even have anything, right?
Right.
That too, that we're just starting out. We really don't, you know, we're just moving out of kind of like the graduation, kind of stepping into internship, into paid employment or entrepreneurship. There are many entrepreneurship programs out there now in universities like FAU, right? So, yep. So it could be that too, you know. I've just experienced it more in my realm and how I related to it as this, you know, this, I mean, it's a total absence of means. And so how does that show up usually, typically in people's lives? But it can be when you're first starting out as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, anybody else have any other thoughts, questions on this?
Love
I
it.
think it's amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. Let me just stop the sharing for a bit. So Susan, great visual. I love visuals and I love the colors, like everybody said, and each color says something to us. So how can people connect with you? Share your information, your contact information.
Yep. So basically, you know, I would say the solution is that I have two offers. One is no cost, no obligation. You enter my expansion text club. You text the word realize to 96000, and you'll get entered into my expansion club. And once a week, you get a shot in the arm, inspirational quote from somebody I admire, right? Whether that's Alan Cohen, Relax into Wealth, or Jen Sincero, you are a badass at making money, et cetera, right?
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's available to anybody who want, and I get them too, and they're really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then the second offering is that I would love to offer your group and anybody on the replay a 20-minute expansion call. I have a scheduler link that is simply calendly.com/sglusica, and that will get you to my available slots. It shows up on a week by week basis, like 1 week at a time. And if there's something that, you know, fits your schedule and you'd like to have a 20-minute, again, complimentary, no obligation expansion call, I have a series of questions designed to get you crystal clear on what's possible for your prosperity in full-on service. There's no sales hype, no anything. It's full-on to get you clear. And
can you put that in the chat? Put that link in the chat, please?
I will absolutely do that right now.
Awesome. Because that's good. I'm going to definitely sign up for your text. 9,600. Okay. I mean, 96,000. Sorry.
Yeah, 96,000.
Okay.
And let me just make sure that I'm giving you the right thing to text.
Good. Because I will post the replay in my group. And if anybody, I'll post it in the group tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just looking for my, there it is. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, so there's that text, and then scheduling is, there you go.
Good. Okay. Awesome.
96000.
96000, correct.
Text realize. Okay, awesome. Very
So
good.
that's a complimentary expansion text every week. It's a shot in the arm. It comes at 10 a.m. on Mondays. It's really a cool way to start your week in terms of money orientation. And then the second offer is a 20-minute expansion call on that scheduler link. Again, no obligation, no pressure, no sales hype. I only make offers to people who I know that I can serve, who have a high level of urgency and motivation. You know, if this is something you want to shift and it's the right fit, I will make an offer. If it's not, and I have a resource I can share with you, which I have many, maybe it's a book that I recommend as your next step, you know, or another resource that I have that's more of a fit than my program or me.
Very good, very good. Well, awesome. It was a pleasure to have you, Susan. Anybody have any last thoughts? You want to share any final thoughts, Susan? This was really great discussion.
Well, obviously, I love what I do. I am serving my higher purpose here. I do have a group program that starts July 2nd, if that's a fit. I do offer VIP coaching for those for whom that's a desired fit. And I just love helping people move the needle along to being the boss of your prosperity.
Yes, very
Thank
good.
you, Susan. I appreciated that.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
I have a quick question. I don't know if I got it in the beginning. What led you to this, Susan?
Oh, yes.
Good question.
That's a great question. I'm happy to elaborate. So here you go. So after 20 years in the corporate cubicle side of the financial services industry, which I've been in my whole entire career, I had a crisis of legacy. Working with great people, making great benefits, money, the whole thing. My husband thought I was insane. He's like, what? My soul was bereft, right? And I could no longer see my impact in the world. So I wanted proximity with clients. I wanted to make a bigger, bolder difference in my life and the lives of others. So after 8 years on the client-facing side of the industry, I realized that no matter what their income level, this is really key, all relative, the biggest money challenge people face is being unaware of how to keep, give, and grow more so they can be, do, and have more. So last year I founded my company and created my group program, which I was, and discovered the 7 money realities, and that's what led me to this.
So Susan, that was a great story. What did you say? Keep, grow, wait, you said keep?
Yeah, so they don't know how to keep, give, and grow more so they can be, do, and have more. Because ultimately that's what we want, right? It's Simon Sinek, start with the why.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Exactly. Love him.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. And don't spend 10 years trying to figure it out. I'd give it to you in 90 days. Seriously.
Wow. I know. It's
Not
amazing.
a year-long program and then you re-up for another year. No. 90 days, people. Rubber hits the road. Let's get this on.
Okay, let's get this shit done and
Life
let's
is
move.
short. We have no
It
time.
is.
Let's go.
It's so true. That is so true.
So
You're
true.
so right about that.
Yep. My testimonials rock. So if anybody's interested in knowing what my testimonials are, I'm happy to send them to you.
Okay, this is good. This is good. Yes, so next week, Madeline will be our speaker. And
Cool.
she's going to talk about your blind spots with your money story. So we talked a little bit today about your beliefs and your whole money story, but Madeline is going to go deeper in how we have blind spots. And Madeline, do you want to share anything more?
No, I just really enjoyed this because I'm looking and I'm still looking at that image. I'm like, oh my God, it's a freaking energy funnel. You
It's
know?
right there.
It is. It's really good. It's really good.
I love it. And as an artist, I just love the colors, but I'm sure everybody else does too. And it is really, everything you said leads to that awareness. We weren't taught that it's all energy because a pile of money is nothing until it has a purpose, which goes to Simon Sinek's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the weight that you talked about, I related to. I love that analogy.
And Madeline, as you know, we do not want the paper and coin. We want what the money gets us.
Exactly. Thank you. Because that's the thing. We're so attached to that paper.
Right.
And that we don't see what is the purpose, what it can do for us, because it is
or
just
even digitally now, right? Like, because it's rare that we touch the paper and coin, right? So even digitally, right? Adding some zeros behind it means nothing. It's not the numbers. It's not the paper coin. It's what it gets us.
What it gets us.
It's kind of like it's the road to Oz. Oz being our big vision.
Mm-hmm.
Said something very poignant before it, the service and what we do. So it's that generation of giving and receiving, that we have a tendency to put that barrier up on receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Related to everything, I love it, and I'll expound with my perceptions a little bit deeper into how the brain works and all next week. So I absolutely loved it, and send you a big hug.
Yes, I love it. And I love all of you for joining us tonight. And I love the fact that Kenya, I know you're tired, so you need to go to sleep. Are you going to sleep soon?
My bedtime is 11, so.
Oh, God.
God bless, girl.
God bless you, girlfriend. Oh my God. Well, anybody have nothing else? I really enjoyed this, Susan. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Tina, for the opportunity. Great meeting you all.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so
Join
much.
the club, get on my scheduler for a call. In any way I can serve you, I would love to.
Okay, awesome. Well, have a great evening, everybody. I'll post the replay in my Women Creating Freedom in their Career Lifestyle group tomorrow.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tina. Please do
Bye,
that.
Deborah.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.